Welcome back to A Celtic State of Mind. I'm Paul John Dykes, and today I'm joined by Sean Conley. It's half-time at Dens Park, and incredibly, it is Dundee 2, Celtic 0. Sean, I'm going to come over to you because you're watching a game that, Celtic have been really, really poor in. Dundee have capitalised in. And then it's our job for the next 15 minutes to try and unpick that and come up with some kind of reasoning behind it. So when you're watching that first 45 minutes, what's the biggest issue for you at the moment?
Lack of intensity from the outset, to be honest. I don't know. Like, there might be someone might try and blame it on the 4-minute delay, but it's the start of the game, the delay, it's not the middle of it. So that doesn't apply to me. We've had I remember a game in the past, I think it was St Johnstone, where we were playing poor for 15 minutes and then there was a protest, interrupted it, and we started playing better after that. But
I do remember that.
This one was at the start, so it's not really impacting. And yeah, we just looked really not too interested, to be honest. And like a lot of bad touches early on too, like just some simple passes going astray. Hatate just really, really poor at times with his touches and his pass. And then Dundee did have that intensity and desire that we didn't have. We've been getting balls into the box, but then three times that we got in behind and we get a touch on the ball, basically 6 yards from goal, and all 3 times we fluff it. I think when the Yang one, I think it goes up the other end straight from that. I can't remember if it leads to the goal or not, but yeah, as soon as Dundee score, which obviously is a massive mistake by Carter Vickers to lose his man. But as soon as Dundee score, we go up the other end. Tierney gets in behind, and then he should do better. He puts it off target when he's yards away from the goal, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. And then the second one was it Yang, the second one? I can't the order, sorry. Yang gets in again. He's back to his goal, so his is a little bit harder, but even still, it's just poor quality, to be honest. The ball goes into the box. He's got time to take a touch, and his touch lays it on a plate for the Dundee defence, not for himself to have a shot. And then the third one, Nygren, again, through and goal, and just stands in the ball, falls over. So, like, I don't know why he tries to take a touch anyway instead of shooting. It's on his left foot, so I guess he is right footed, but still, yeah, it's, I don't know, man. It's really frustrating because we have been getting those balls in behind, but we have lacked the intensity, and I guess when you're playing with a bit more intensity, you see a bit more movement in the box, because after those 3 fluff chances, there has been balls into the box since then, but nobody's getting on the end of them. And that speaks to a lack of movement and a lack of intensity as well. In terms of the defence as well, I think Liam Scales is the only one that showed up really. From this, I know he gets done for the second goal, but that guy was pretty good. That winger, I quite like to look at him. If we had him in the right wing, we'd probably doing better. I think he looked better than Yang. But yeah, so Liam Scales has been doing pretty well 1-on-1 with Simon Murray, but the set piece, Carter Vickers loses man. I don't think Ralston's contributed anything offensively or defensively at all in the game. Tierney's been short. I mean, apart from the chance he missed, he's been getting done defensively as well, and he's not had much intensity going forward. So yeah, I know. Yeah, we're just not at it in many facets. To win a game, sometimes your quality will see you through a game. Particularly against lower league teams where you don't need to raise that intensity. And there's games where your intensity will, like Dundee can overcome our quality with greater intensity, and we've lacked the quality and intensity to deserve anything out of this so far. And yeah, 2-0, it's pretty frustrating.
It's frustrating. It's all we deserve. I think Dundee are good for their 2-0 lead. You're right, we did craft some chances, but if you don't have the cutting edge, Sean, you don't deserve to go into the halftime break with anything. And we've got what we've deserved. I'm going to bring up as many as I can, the comments coming in through, because we're talking 2,900 live, a lot of frustration overflowing here. We have nothing coming from the left. It's all coming down the right. It's all from the left. Absolutely. That was so clear to see. Tuneki is the out ball. He's trying to create, Sean. And by the way, Tuneke loses possession, which leads to Dundee's second goal. Because when we are in attack, we're just completely overloading it. And Dundee try and get 10 men behind the ball, and then they've broken away. And it's all about, right, we need to defend that better. You're right, Scales does get skint. I think Scales has been the best defender by a distance. And I said Jersey in the first half, but he gets skint in that movement. When the ball comes across, Ralston's so far up the park, he's never getting back. Yang does get back, but he's weak. He's weak, and he doesn't win the ball. And of course, it hits off Carter Vickers and goes in. Just a really, really poor goal to lose. Team selection criminal, says Vinnie Russell. Let us know, Vinnie Russell, who you would have picked, what you would have done differently. That's not a criticism on you, Vinnie. That's just a follow-up question to yourself. David Cooper, if we continue with McGregor and Tierney in the team, we will never win another game. I think Tierney's been really poor in the first half. McGregor as well hasn't orchestrated the tempo, hasn't grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. All these things that I think were said quite a bit throughout the season. Mick, 1448, I'm totally not watching this garbage anymore. This board and Desmond must go. We will watch every single kick of the ball, Mick. We need to get to the root of the issue. And I do believe the root of the club's issue is at boardroom level. But today, as a team, we need to be better, regardless of everything that's happened, regardless of the poor recruitment, regardless of the uprising, regardless of the action and the protest at the beginning of the game, which annoyed some of the players. I could see Schmeichel was appealing to the fans just to stop it so we could get on with the game. I get all that. But despite all of that, Sean, we still should have enough. We should have enough in the dugout, and we should have enough in the park to put in a better display than we've seen in the first 45 minutes. I don't want to single out individual players because we've been rotten as a team. Ian Acho's no kicked the ball. Yang has, unfortunately for him, and unfortunately because people might think I'm targeting him, has been the worst player on the park because he's had plenty of the ball. He's lost the ball time and time again. He's passing. He's not brave enough. You can't rely on him. He needs hooked at half time. You could say that about a few of them. But certainly Yang, there's an argument to suggest maybe even Ralston as well. But yeah, as a team, Sean, yeah, we've got all the boardroom stuff happening and we're covering it. Every nuance of it is being covered. We've got the fans unhappy and there's an uprising, there's protest today. Let's park that for the time being. Yes, if we were better at recruitment, we'd have better players on the park. My issue's no with the 5 guys that I spoke about before the game that have come into this team and have performed pretty well, I believe, although Nygren's not been great today. My issues with guys that you can normally absolutely hang all your hopes on: Carter Vickers, Callum McGregor, the returning Kieran Tierney. What a shadow of a player he looks at the moment. Made us at the moment, but he's not been great this season. Rio Tata's been really poor in that first half. First 2 things he did was lose the ball. So, you can bring these new guys in, and Tuneki's shown all the ability in the world. But if the guys that should be your half a dozen players that step up every single week don't step up, that just filters through the entire team. We look really, really dysfunctional at the moment, Sean. But I mean, let's go back to occasions in the past where we've been down and out, if you like. Rugby Park 3-0. Neil Lennon says if we don't pull that back, he loses his job. It's quite early in the season. We're 2-0 down at Dens Park. Let's talk about the here and now. What do we do at this halftime break?
Yeah, well, you can start by putting Forrest on for Yang. That's the obvious one. You could probably put Donovan in for Ralston and arguably Sriracha on for Tierney. But I'd definitely start by changing the 2 bodies on the right because it is very obvious that we've got nothing there. And the Cameron, what's his surname? Cosgrove? I can't remember his name.
Congreve, yeah.
Yeah, the right winger, he's having a good day up against Tierney, so that'd be an argument for putting Sriracha out there, or maybe even Scales, but that means bringing Dane Murray in. But I don't think I'd risk that against Simon Murray, who's a bit of an experienced player, and we need a bit of experience and strength to match that. But yeah, I'd start by changing the right hand side and. I know it's not his style, but I think Rodgers needs to give him a blast, to be honest, because it's just not been good enough in terms of effort. So we can talk about quality, but the effort's not been good enough as well, and that's the frustrating thing as a supporter.
Yeah, and another thing I'm going to say here, and emotions always run high, particularly when you're as bad as we were in that first half. This is not the fault of Celtic fans in all guises, be that the Celtic fans that were there today didn't cause this performance. The Celtic fans who decided at some point to set up a podcast, it's not their fault either. It's not your fault. And this is the thing, because what you find, Sean, and I've seen it on social media all week, and I'll probably speak about it in a wee bit more detail during the next week, is that people start to turn on fellow fans. It's not your fault. If you want to look at where to blame this performance or where the club is right now, the one element of this football club that is not to blame is the Celtic supporters. So we can't be looking at it's this group's fault, it's that group's fault, it's that podcast fault. How dare Jim Moore say that Hearts aren't challenging us? Look at us now. That's nothing. It's nothing at all to do with the Celtic supporters. What is happening on that park right now? And I'll tell you as well, there has always been a hugely high demand, a ceiling, if you like, where if you don't reach that, you will be criticised as a Celtic player. All throughout my Celtic supporting life. And it's not about singling someone out for personal attack. If somebody doesn't play well, they have always been up for criticism, Sean, because if you can't handle that intensity, then you won't be at Celtic. That's always been the way. Unfortunately, I think that there's sometimes a cycle where too many of the people are in the same team. And when that happens, the whole thing falls to bits. And then you look at your established players. Callum McGregor, Kieran Tierney, albeit he's just come back. He knows what it means to play for Celtic. Liam Scales, Kasper Schmeichel, God knows how many caps he's got international. The experience that man's got, coming up to 40 years of age, you've got to look on that experience. These are the people that you look at. And I also throw in people like Cameron Carter-Vickers now, who's in his 5th season at Celtic. Rio Atati is in his 5th season at Celtic. You know what it takes to be a Celtic player. You cannot hide. You absolutely cannot hide. And you've got to step up. So this is nothing to do with the supporters. Absolutely not. Be it the fans at the game, those who are doing the protest, those who are speaking on podcasts. It's the players. It's the dugout, the entire management team. It's the boardroom. That is who you focus on. Right now, yeah, we could go on about all the other underlying issues. I just want to talk about the performance of this team and what we can do to actually salvage something. Because I said before the game, Quinny said it in May, Hearts are a threat. They absolutely are a threat. We've gone out there today. We've not turned up. We're going to have to do something at halftime to turn it round. Dundee have been way better. I absolutely agree with you, and credit to them. They've played the game. I'll tell you something. Stephen Presley's been a bit of a joke figure this season, Sean. I've seen it. I've seen it on socials. He's been a bit of a joke figure. He's not a joke figure today. Simon Murray has, for me, worked harder and done more than many of our own strikers this season. Today, I've got to say Liam Scales, although I agree with you, should have done much better at the second goal. If you're talking about head to head, I thought Scales has stepped up.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I thought it was good. Apart from the one incident.
The one incident, because we were talking about a £6 million centre half who couldn't play against Simon Murray last season.
Mm-hmm.
Scales he has. The much maligned Liam Scales has. People blaming Rodgers when the players aren't performing to their level. The decision making is letting us down in key moments. Yeah, you're right. But someone else has come in. Is Tierney playing? Tierney's been really poor today. He could be hooked, absolutely. Ralston and Yang could be hooked. I agree with that as well. Yang, I never wanted to see, says David Boyle, regular contributor, after Hampden. And there he is once again doing nothing. Yeah, again, he could be hooked, absolutely no problem. And you could bring on James A. Forrest as well. Someone criticises us for not mentioning Brendan Rodgers quickly enough. Felix, this is not about people talking on podcasts. It's not about people talking on the radio or going to games or protesting. This is about Brendan Rodgers. This is about the team. Let's focus on them and what they're not doing at this moment in time. We can't, as football fans, right here and now, Sean, determine anything that happens in the next 45 minutes. It's on the players and it's on Brendan Rodgers and his management team. 100%. And also, we've got AGSC Tech. We lose at Hearts and it's 8 points and the dark questions begin. this is serious. I think it's already serious. And
I think the biggest reflection of the current what's going on with this result right now is are people frustrated? Almost everyone. You and I are frustrated. Are people angry? Yes, some people are angry. How many people are surprised?
No, it's
that's
been coming.
And that's the thing, isn't it? I'm not surprised. Like, I'm frustrated, I'm upset, but I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised that, and it could have happened before at some point in this season. We were nothing each against St Mirren until late on. We were one each, and we needed a penalty against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. Motherwell, it was a late showing to win 3-2. These games have been coming. This result has been coming. We need to step it up in the second half. I'm keeping an eye on the action just now to see where we are. We've just kicked off. Let's go and rejoin the action. And hopefully we can pull this back. Sean, I'll see everybody 3,600 of you strong, hopefully after the game, a wee bit happier. Join us then on a Celtic State of